What would happen if I stopped working completely and let AI run my business for an entire day? No manual replies. No writing content myself. No planning. No editing. No customer support. Just AI. For the next 24 hours, every major task in my workflow would be handled by artificial intelligence. And honestly, I wasn't sure if this was going to be impressive or a complete disaster. Because right now, everyone online keeps saying the same thing: AI is replacing jobs, AI will automate everything, AI businesses are the future. But I wanted to test something practical. Can AI actually run a real business workflow? Or are people massively overhyping this technology? So I decided to find out. The rules were simple. For one full day, I could only use AI tools to operate my business. That meant, AI writes the content. AI responds to emails. AI organizes tasks. AI generates ideas. AI handles planning. And AI automates repetitive work. My job was only to approve things and keep the system moving. And the first thing I realized: AI is unbelievably fast. Usually, my mornings are chaotic. Checking emails. Planning content. Replying to messages. Organizing tasks. But this time, I opened ChatGPT and gave it one instruction: plan my entire workday for maximum productivity. Within seconds, it created a full schedule. Content tasks. Priority order. Workflow optimization. Break suggestions. Honestly, it was more organized than I usually am. So I followed the plan exactly. First challenge: content creation. Normally, scripting a video takes me hours. Researching topics. Structuring ideas. Rewriting intros. Fixing pacing. This time, AI handled the first draft completely. I asked it for a viral title, a hook, an outline, retention strategies, thumbnail ideas. And in less than 5 minutes, I had an entire video structure ready to go. Now obviously, it wasn't perfect. Some parts sounded robotic. Some jokes felt awkward. And certain lines needed personality. But here's what shocked me: the hardest part was already done. The blank page was gone. Instead of creating from scratch, I was editing and improving. That alone probably saved me 3 hours. Then came emails. And honestly, this was where AI became slightly terrifying. I connected AI to my email workflow and let it draft responses automatically. Client inquiries. Partnership requests. Scheduling replies. Follow-ups. Everything generated instantly. And most of the replies sounded surprisingly human. Polite. Professional. Clear. In fact, a few responses sounded better than what I normally write myself. That was the first moment where I genuinely thought, okay, this technology is different. Because repetitive communication is exactly the kind of thing AI handles extremely well. Not emotional conversations. Not deep human connection. But repetitive professional tasks. AI is incredibly good at those. Next came social media. This is usually one of the most time-consuming parts of running an online business. Captions. Hooks. Tweets. Short-form ideas. Post formatting. But AI turned one long-form video into multiple pieces of content automatically. Instagram captions. TikTok hooks, YouTube descriptions, Twitter posts, LinkedIn-style content, all generated from a single prompt. And suddenly, I understood why businesses are moving toward AI so aggressively. Speed. That's the real advantage. Not perfection. Speed. Because online business rewards output. The faster you can test ideas, publish content, and improve systems, the faster you grow. And AI massively increases output. But then something interesting happened. Around halfway through the experiment, I started noticing the weaknesses. Because AI is extremely good at structure, but not always great at judgment. For example, one AI-generated social media post sounded technically correct, but emotionally empty. Another email response sounded too formal. One content idea felt repetitive and generic. And that's when I realized something important. AI can generate content, but humans still give content meaning. That difference matters a lot. Because there's a huge misconception online right now. People think AI removes the need for humans. But honestly, the best results usually happen when humans and AI work together. AI handles speed. Humans handle taste. AI handles repetition. Humans handle emotion. AI handles systems. Humans handle strategy. And once I understood that balance, the experiment became way more interesting. Because the goal wasn't replacing myself completely. It was removing friction. And AI is incredible at removing friction. One of the biggest surprises was decision fatigue. Normally, running a business means constantly making tiny decisions all day. What to post? What to prioritize? What to reply? What headline to use? What idea to test? And those decisions drain mental energy. But AI reduced that dramatically. Instead of overthinking everything, I had instant starting points. Suggestions. Drafts. Options. Momentum. And momentum changes productivity completely. By the end of the day, I realized I had finished more work than usual. Not because AI magically did everything perfectly, but because I spent less time stuck. Less time switching between tasks. Less time staring at blank screens. Less time doing repetitive work. And honestly, that's where most productivity disappears. Not in hard work. In friction. That's why AI feels so powerful. It compresses time. Tasks that normally take hours suddenly take minutes. And when that starts happening across an entire business workflow, the efficiency gains become massive. But there was also something slightly uncomfortable about this experiment. Because throughout the day, I kept asking myself the same question: if AI can already do this much today, what happens in 5 years? That's the part most people underestimate. These tools are still early. And they're already capable of writing, editing, planning, organizing, summarizing, designing, and automating huge parts of online business. The speed of improvement is honestly insane. And businesses care about one thing above all else: efficiency. If AI saves time, companies will use it. That's inevitable. But after using AI for an entire day, I don't think the future is humans versus AI. I think the future belongs to people who learn how to work with AI better than everyone else. Because the productivity difference becomes impossible to ignore. One person with AI tools can now compete with entire teams from just a few years ago. That changes business completely. And honestly, We're probably still at the beginning. Now, did AI fully run my business perfectly for 24 hours? No, not even close. There were mistakes, awkward outputs, generic ideas, things that needed editing. But that's not the point. The point is this: even with imperfections, AI still removed hours of work. Hours. And once you experience that firsthand, you stop seeing AI as a gimmick. You start seeing it as leverage. That's the real shift happening right now. AI isn't replacing ambition. It's amplifying execution. The people who adapt early will move faster, create faster, learn faster, build faster. And in a world where attention moves at internet speed, that advantage matters more every day. So after letting AI run my business for 24 hours, here's my conclusion: AI won't completely replace humans anytime soon. But humans using AI will absolutely outperform humans who ignore it. And that gap is only getting bigger.